Let's do it. Let's go ahead and have a seat so we can center in. Just kind of tune into ourselves today, the whole shebang. Let's check and see how our bodies are doing, how our minds are doing, so our mental state, our emotional state, all of those things. We're going to check in with those. So find your comfortable seated position and just take a big inhale through your nose and a big exhale through your mouth. And just let your body and the rest of your being know that it is time for yoga. So just taking a moment to get yourself kind of tuned in, closing the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Start breathing a little slower and deeper. Ujjayi breathing would be great. And so as you notice your body and your thoughts and your emotions and your energy, go ahead and get your intention set for practice. Let's bring palms together in front of the heart. And we're just going to set our intentions. When you're clear about your intention, take that deeper inhale. One more exhale through the mouth. Kind of sealing the deal. And then you can open your eyes. Let's roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Good. And then from here, we're going to go straight into downward facing dog. So just kind of wiggle around if you need to. Do whatever you need to on this first down dog. And then when you do feel like you're able to find stillness, pay attention to your upper torso today. Of course, our downward facing dog lengthens the spine. Of course, it stretches out the back of the legs. But we're really going to be emphasizing upper torso today. So broaden between the shoulder blades and open the chest, both. Take one more breath. And then walk your feet forward. Hang for a couple of breaths in ragdoll. Neck stays relaxed. Knees stay slightly bent. You're just dangling. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and come all the way up. Reach the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Get really firmly rooted on the ground. So feel your feet. Just take a moment, connect. It's always good to get rooted in a standing position before you begin to move. And then inhale and reach the arms up. Spread the fingers, lift the chest, look up. So let's pay attention again to the upper torso. Lift your rib cage up. Maybe you roll it back, maybe you don't. That's personal preference. But I want you in this position to feel the heart opening and the upper back. So we want openness all the way around. We're going to be doing some heart openers, but that doesn't mean that we always want the upper back tight. What if we could have the heart open on both sides? On your next exhale, go ahead and fold forward into your standing forward bend. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. Let's step back with the left foot and just hold your lunge for a moment. And then if it feels okay, go ahead and rotate that right hand up towards the ceiling. You can play with moving the arm around if you want, range of motion, but maybe see what it feels like to kind of reach that right arm back a little bit. Just stretching a tiny bit. Go ahead and bring your right hand and left knee down. And come on up with the arms up and overhead. Pelvis tilts back, hips press forward. So just taking some time here to really open up. I want you to lift the rib cage. Again, this is just as much as your body allows. Be mindful of your back and your neck and your shoulders. But if you can, the rib cage lifts and you just start to see what it feels like to maybe rotate the chest up towards the ceiling. Don't sacrifice your hip opener here. And then bring your hands down on either side of your right foot. Extend your right leg. Flex the ankle and toes. Lift your chest. Pull it forward. And then from here, step back to plank position. Hold your plank for a moment. So we want the body to be very engaged. Your plank should feel just like you felt when you were standing at the front of the mat. Same alignment. Now we're going to drop down 7-limb staff. So knees, chest, and chin. Shoulders are going to pull down. Your bum is still in the air. And I want you to notice how your heart feels here. So in this position, shoulder blades are squeezed together a little bit. Heart opens even more. Go ahead and untuck the toes. Lift the chest up for cobra. And really pull shoulders down, heart forward. Take a couple of breaths. And then downward facing dog. Every time you come to your down dog, I want you to focus on maintaining space all the way around the upper torso. And then step forward with your left foot. And just hold your lunge for a moment. Let's take left hand up towards the ceiling. You can play with a little bit of movement, see what's going on in that left shoulder. And then if it feels like you can, just kind of let it drop back a little bit. Chest opening. Bring your left hand and your right knee down. Let's take the arms up and overhead. Pelvis tilts back. We press the hips forward. And then you just see what it feels like to roll the rib cage up a little bit. Maybe start to open up your chest and your heart. All of this is at your level. Bring the hands down, extend your left leg. Flex the ankle and toes, and again, the heart pulls forward. And then step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up, stretch, maybe lift the rib cage, roll it back. Exhale, fold all the way forward, hands down to the mat. Look up halfway and lengthen, and then all the way back down. This time, step back with your right foot. Big step back, find that lunge. Drop the right knee down and come up. This time, if it feels okay, we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. Tuck your tailbone under, lift your chest, let the hips move forward. And then this time, I do want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You're going to feel the heart start to open. Raise the arms. And just take a moment here, opening up the front of the chest in this way. If it feels okay, start rolling the rib cage. Your hands might find their way back onto the back of the right thigh. That's fine. because I may encourage you, if you can, to let your right hand find your right calf or heel and the left arm reach up and back. Come up from that, bring both hands down inside your left foot, and then come onto the right forearm, perhaps both. Take a couple of breaths here. Lizard pose. And then step back to plank position. And go through a vinyasa, but I'd like you to take an extra breath in your Sphinx, Cobra, or upward facing dog. So you can flow through however you like, but when you get to your heart opener, pause and breathe. See if you can move the breath really high up into the chest. And the downward facing dog. Remember, lots of space, front and back side of the heart. Big step forward with your right foot. Good. Go ahead and drop left knee down. We're going to come up, this time interlacing fingers behind the back. Tuck your tailbone under, press the hips forward, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift the arms a little bit. If it feels okay, start to roll the rib cage towards the ceiling. If you feel like you want to unlace the fingers, let your left hand find your left calf or heel. Right hand reaches up and back. Come on up from that. Both hands come down inside the right foot. Come onto your left forearm, perhaps both. Take a couple breaths here. And then come on up. Step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, palms together in front of the heart. All right, we're going to interlace the fingers again behind the back. Squeeze your shoulder blades. This time we're going to be folding forward. So if your hamstrings are tight, feel free to bend your knees a little bit, but hinge at your hips, relax your neck, and start to reach the arms up and over your head, as though you're trying to touch the hands on the floor. I don't think they're going to get there, but you know, that's the idea. Shoulder blades squeeze, arms are reaching. One more breath here. And then on your next inhale, come all the way back up. Release the arms. Exhale, roll your shoulders back. Good. Palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, fold forward, standing forward bend. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale, back down. Step back with your left foot, spin the heel flat. Adjust your feet as necessary. Come on up into warrior one. So just taking a moment to really try and find that openness in the chest. And then if it feels okay, let the arms drop open to the sides, palms up. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, fold forward, humble warrior or exalted warrior. Right shoulder to your right thigh, neck relaxes, arms reach up and overhead. Come back up from that. Release the arms. You're going to take your right arm on bottom, left arm on top. Now we're opening up the upper back, right? So it's the arm position for Garudasana. Pull the shoulders down, elbows lift slightly and press forward. You should feel the stretch across your upper back. And now if you can, lift off for the full pose. Left thigh tightly crosses right thigh. Tailbone drops, heart lifts. Step your left leg back, unwind the arms. Warrior one. And then take your hands to the mat. Step back to plank position. And this time as you lower down, I'd like you to lower all the way down to your stomach, please. You can have your arms in front of you with your forehead resting on your forearms. Just your right leg is going to lift. So this is half locust. Try and keep your pubic bone pressing into the floor so like don't roll to get that right leg to lift higher. And then release, downward facing dog. Just the right side. We'll do the left side after we do our left warrior one. So pressing your down dog, stretch. And now we'll step that left foot forward, spin your right foot flat, adjust as necessary, and come up into your warrior one. So we're just taking a moment to find that good stance, hips are aligned, chest is lifted, and then we take the arms out to the side, palms up. Chest opening, shoulders opening. Go ahead and bring the hands behind the back now. Interlace your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades together, fold forward, left shoulder to left thigh, humble warrior. So on your next inhale, you'll come back up. Release the arms. This time your left arm is on bottom and your right arm is on top. Arm position for eagle, shoulders down, elbows up, push forward. Take a breath here. Find that stretch in your upper back. And then if you can, lift off for the full pose. Right thigh tightly crosses left. Squeeze your thighs together. Tailbone drops, heart lifts. Unwind that right leg. Step it back, release the arms, warrior one. Take your hands to the mat. And again, we're going to lower all the way down. Forearms crossed, forehead rests on the forearms. This time, just your left leg is lifting. Remember, try and keep the pubic bone pressing into the mat. Left leg back down, downward facing dog. From this down dog, you're gonna shift forward into plank. Lower all the way down to your stomach again, please. This time, right arm is gonna go right out to the side, just like a T with your palm flat. Left hand is flat underneath your left shoulder. We're gonna try and keep the right arm where it is and just roll onto our right side, knees bent. If you can, your left arm reaches up and back to kind of mirror the right arm. If you want, you can put your left foot flat with your left knee pointing at the ceiling. You're also welcome to do the same with the right leg if you have that much shoulder mobility. Come onto the stomach again. Bring your right hand under your right shoulder. Take your left arm out to the left. Roll onto your left side. So your left arm is straight out to the side. Your palm is facing down. You're using your right hand to push yourself over onto your left side. Both knees bent. If you can, you reach your right arm back behind you. If you want to, you can put your right foot flat with your right knee pointing up. Some of you will be able to take the left knee up as well. So you should be feeling this across the front of your shoulders and your chest. Come back to center, your face down. I want you to bring your hands straight back behind you. Your palms are flat now on the floor by your hips. Either your chin or your forehead is on the floor, depends on your neck. But you're going to keep some part of your face in contact with your mat, either your chin or your forehead. Raise your right leg. Lower it down. Raise your left leg. Lower it down. Now see if you can raise both legs. And lower down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Downward facing dog. From your down dog, you can either walk or jump forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe even back. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. So yes, you already did eagle pose. However, you're also going to do dancer pose. We're going to stand on the left foot first. And today, you can grab your right foot however you like. It doesn't matter if it's from the inside or the outside. I want you to take your left arm up in the air, grab your right foot. We're going to focus on using the leg to open up the chest today. So it doesn't matter to me like where you grab. Tuck your tailbone under, push your foot back really strongly. Use your leg strength to open up the front of the right shoulder. And then come all the way back up and release. Other side. Right arm is going to be up in the air. Reach back and grab that left foot however you want to today. Tailbone tucks under, and we use the leg strength. We push back with our left foot to get the left side of our chest and left shoulder to open. Come back up, plant both feet down, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up and stretch. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. Walk or jump back to plank. Lower all the way down to your stomach. This time, arms are in front of you. And we're going to be raising arms, legs, head, and chest. So full flying locust. Raise everything up. Now, if you can, from flying locust, we're going to transition right into bow. Bend the knees, grab the feet. Push back with your legs to lift the heart. Lower down, downward facing dog. Full bow. We're gonna do it one more time, but you get a little bit of a break in between from your down dog. You can either walk or jump forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, palms together in front of your heart. So go ahead and take your feet to the width of your mat. Drop your tailbone down for yogic squat. This little bit of a break allows your spine to lengthen. So keep your chest really lifted. Take a couple of breaths. And then on your next inhale, come on up, keep your feet this width, and again, interlace fingers behind your back, squeeze your shoulder blades. Fold forward, relax your neck, reach those arms up and overhead. On your next inhale, come back up. Exhale, release the arms and roll the shoulders back. Bring your feet together, bring your palms together. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down, step back to plank, and you got it. You're gonna lower all the way down to your stomach. If you can, we're moving into Dhanurasana, bow pose, bend the knees, grab the feet or ankles and press back. Now, if you can't do this, just lift arms and legs. Otherwise, use your leg strength to really press back and lift the heart. Lower down. Bring your forearms out in front of you and pause for a moment to lengthen in Sphinx. Heart pulls forward. And downward facing dog. Really lengthen here, stretch it out. And then go ahead and drop to your knees. And we're just going into really traditional threading the needle. So your right arm is going to reach underneath you. Keep your left hand where it is, please, so that you can kind of press and roll into the space behind your right shoulder blade. Come on out of that. Hands and knees, all fours. And then take your left arm underneath you, keeping your right hand where it is so that you can push and roll into the space behind your left shoulder blade. And of course, you're going to use your breath here. Come on out of that. Take a full-on child's pose. If you're able, do traditional child's pose with your hands back by your feet so your back can really round. So for a couple of breaths here, I want you to breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Think of it as the back side of your heart. And then from here, you can shift into plank and take your final vinyasa for this morning's practice. When you get to your down dog, really lengthen the spine and take the opportunity yet again to make sure you have space all the way around the upper torso. And then you can walk or jump your feet forward. And have a seat with your legs extended. So finding your sit bones. Lifting up through the chest, hands right behind the backside for a moment, coming into Dandasana, stack pose, taking stock. How's everything feeling? Upper chest, upper back, lots going on. Hip flexors are also open, so that should be something. Take one more breath. And then I want you to just go ahead and stretch out over both of your legs. If you want to round this morning, that's absolutely okay. It's a nice counter pose to some of the back bending stuff. You do what feels best to you. If a neutral spine feels better, then keep your spine neutral. Good. Come on up now. You're going to keep your legs extended just like they are. So we're going to come into an extended leg version of fish pose. Spin around a little bit here. If you need to pay attention to neck issues, and some of you do, then you're going to lightly tuck your fingertips underneath your backside, lean back onto your forearms, lift your chest, and just look at the ceiling, or if it feels okay, allow the head to drop back. Now, if you have a healthy neck, and a couple of you do, you can actually lie down flat, do like you would for back bend, and come to the top of your head, and then bring your palms together in front of your heart. If you're on the crown of the head, and you're happy here, you are welcome to extend the legs. And if you like, extend the arms. Slowly lower down, hug your knees in, rock side to side, and then rock back and forth a few times until you can rock yourself all the way back up to sitting. When you come up to your seated position, come into an easy cross-legged position now. And what I'd like you to do is take your right hand, I apologize, I'm not going to mirror you this morning, so it's that way for you guys. Take your right hand out onto the floor to the right, but keep your left hip really planted. First, I want you to just take your left arm up and overhead, get a little bit of a side bend. Now, your left arm that's overhead, bend that elbow, put your left hand behind your head. Kind of roll your left elbow up towards the ceiling. So now you're getting a side bend and a little chest opening. Take one more breath here. Let that left hand just come behind you. Right hand on the left knee, straight spine, twist to your left for a moment. And then come back to the center and roll your shoulders back. Good. Left hand onto the floor. Slide it out just a little bit. We're not going for extremes here. Make sure you keep your right hip planted. Take your right arm up and overhead. So just get a nice side bend for a breath or two. And then that right arm that's overhead, you're going to bend the elbow and bring the right hand behind your head and kind of roll your right elbow up towards the ceiling. So you get a side bend and a little chest opener. Take one more breath. And then just let that right hand come all the way around behind you, straight spine, left hand on the right knee. Twist and look over your right shoulder. Good. Come back to the center. Bring the soles of the feet together. Just make sure you're on your sit bones. Take a moment Interlace your fingers over your toes. I know I normally don't let you do this. You're gonna just kind of pull your chest forward. You can actually pull against the feet if you need to. Kind of lengthen the spine, lengthen yourself out here. Take a couple breaths. Everybody's different. If this feels good and you need to stay here, awesome, do that. If you feel like you can, you're gonna come back up and actually interlace your fingers behind your back and then fold forward one more time. Excellent. Come on back up. Release your arms. Roll your shoulders back. Good. From here, you get to bring your knees up and go ahead and roll onto your back to stay this time. Hugging knees in, side to side rock. And then we're just gonna play with a little chest opener. It's kind of a dynamic moving chest opener. You're gonna roll onto your right side, literally onto your right side, with both knees bent and together. So usually I let you stay in this kind of a twist, but we're just gonna be opening and closing our hands. So your arms are straight out in front of you. They're on the floor right now. Palms are touching. You're gonna inhale and take that left arm way back. And exhale, bring it back to meet your right palm. Inhale, take the left arm way back. Exhale, bring it back to meet your right palm. Do that 3 more times. The slower you breathe, the more time you have to let that left arm be in space. By the way, you want to try and keep your legs together. I should have told you that. As you finish out that last one, you're just gonna roll onto your back again. You can hug your knees, rock side to side. And then we're just gonna roll it over onto the left side. So again, your arms are extended, knees are bent together, palms are touching. On your inhale, the right arm opens back out behind you. As you exhale, you bring it all the way back over so your palms are touching. Inhale, right arm out behind you. Exhale, bring it all the way back in, and you're going to do 3 more at your own breath rate. Try and keep your knees together. Try and keep them on the ground. And as you finish that out, you can just roll onto your back again, hug your knees in, and rock side to side. So we're going to be doing 2 inversions today. Opening the chest, opening the back. It's going to be a bridge pose, which you guys are all able to do to open up the chest, preferably with fingers interlaced underneath if that's an option for you. And as we come out of that, we're going to go into a plow pose with the legs up and overhead. Now, for some of you guys, because of neck issues, plow, halasana, is not a good idea. So your modification, pardon me, would be to simply get both legs and just pull them towards you and allow your back to round without hiking the hips up. The rest of us will go into a full plow. So that's what you're in for. Let's put our feet into position for bridge pose. Big toes touching, heels separated. I'd like you to lift your hips. And if you are able, interlace your fingers underneath you. Arms are straight. You roll onto the back of the arms and you lift your hips and you lift your chest. And then you breathe. Two more breaths here. Breathe into your upper chest. As you lower down, you're either going to take your legs and just straight legs, hug them into your chest, or if you can, you're going to press yourself up and overhead for plow, going straight from one to the other. One more breath. Breathe towards your back. And then just lower yourself all the way back down. Hugging the knees in and rocking side to side. So you kind of did a dynamic chest opener with your twist earlier. Now we're just going to do that with our legs. So all I want you to do is just keep your knees bent. Just take your arms out to the side with your palms facing up. This time, as you exhale, both knees are just going to drop to the right. As you inhale, bring them back up. And as you exhale, drop them to the left. The good news is after our third one, we'll hold it. Inhale the legs back up. Exhale, drop them over to the right. We're just loosening up the spine, and then you'll get to stay there. Inhale, legs back up. Exhale, drop them over to the left. One more on each side before we linger. Inhale, legs up. Exhale, drop both knees to the right. Inhale, legs back up. Exhale, drop both knees to the left. This next time, we're going to stay for a few breaths. So as you inhale, bring the legs up. As you exhale, drop them over to the right. Turn your head to the left and breathe. Inhale, bring those legs back up. Exhale, drop them over to the left. This time you get to stay and breathe. Head turns to the right. On your next inhale, come back up. As you exhale, hug your knees in. I want you to keep your right knee hugged in. Extend your left leg all the way out. Hug your right knee nice and deep. Hold it. Interlace your fingers over the front of your right shin or right knee. Begin to press the knee away from your torso until your arms straighten. And then go just a tiny bit farther. You're going to feel your upper back lift a little bit, but you want to keep the back of the head on the mat. You're getting a little bit of a gentle upper back stretch. Take one more breath. And then on your next exhale, just hug the right knee back in. Let your upper back find the floor. Left knee meets right knee. Feel free to rock if you want. I usually want. Keep your left knee hugged in. Extend your right leg all the way out onto the ground. Wind relieving pose. Hug the left knee. Interlace your fingers over the front of your left shin or knee, and then begin to push your knee away from your torso till your arms straighten, and then press it just a tiny bit more till you feel the upper back lift, but the back of the head is still supported. Breathe. On your next exhale, just hug that left knee back in. Bring the right knee up to meet it. Give yourself a little rock if you want it. And then grab your feet or ankles and take a little bit of time in a happy baby. So in other words, free time, yoga recess. What does your body need to do before our last couple of releases and shavasana? If there's anything else your body's craving, this is a good time to give it to the body. When you feel like you're ready, bring your feet flat to the mat, ankles and knees together. Just a tiny little subtle wiggle, not even in time to the breath. Just roll the knees side to side a tiny amount. And then on your next exhale, knees drop open, soles of the feet together. From this position, we're going to take our arms up and over our head. So they're on the floor. Interlace your fingers, but extend your index fingers. This is Jupiter Mudra. On your next inhale, reach through the fingertips and press the knees towards the mat. Really lift up through your chest and take an extra deep inhale to inflate the chest. Exhaling, releasing tension in the body, allowing the hands to unlace and come down below shoulder height. Feet are still touching, knees are still open. Now we lengthen the low back. Take an inhale and press your lumbar spine into the mat. Take a deep breath in to inflate the back. On your next exhale, release. Begin to extend your legs, separate the feet. Get yourself nice and comfy for Shavasana. So make sure every body part is where it wants to be right now. Make sure your hands are relaxed, your feet are relaxed, your face is relaxed, your spine is long, your eyes are closed. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And just begin that process of surrender. Surrendering down to the mat. Surrendering to the force of gravity. Surrendering to the practice that just occurred, surrendering to the present moment right now. When we truly surrender in Shavasana, it's an act of faith. To truly surrender means you have faith that everything is as it should be and is going to be okay. You can relax your body completely because you know the floor is there beneath you and gravity is holding you down. You have faith in the force of gravity. You can surrender control of your breath because you know your autonomic nervous system will just keep breathing whether you're involved in the process or not. So you have faith that your body will just keep breathing and stay alive. You can surrender into the present moment, completely being right here, right now, because you have faith that right here, right now, everything is good and is going to stay good. That you are, in fact, taken care of. That you are, in fact, exactly where you need to be, doing what you need to be doing at this moment. So just kind of letting that sink in and soak in, that everything is okay. It will be okay. That you are cared for. That you are supported. that you can let go, that you can surrender. Notice how it feels in your body to be safe and cared for. Notice your thoughts around the idea that you are safe and cared for. And notice emotionally how that feels, that you are safe and cared for. And even energetically, how does that affect you? Knowing without doubt, that's what faith is, that you are safe and cared for. And then perhaps allow yourself to feel into what it would be like to live the rest of your life keeping that knowledge in the forefront, that you are safe and cared for. If you had no doubts or no fears, no anger, none of the stuff that goes along with forgetting that we're safe and cared for. How would it feel to live the rest of your life that way? And then decide to do it. Just decide to do it. Begin to deepen your breath a little bit. Begin to move your fingers and toes a little bit. Take that nice deep inhale. Spread your fingers and toes. Exhale through your mouth, relax them. Deeper breath in and stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale and relax. Slowly bend your knees, however you need to. As you're ready, roll to your right side. And then just press yourself up into sitting. And as you find your nice straight spine, just kind of notice if you brought that feeling with you. Do you still feel safe and cared for? And if you know you're safe and cared for, why would anything else ever concern you? For our breathing today, we're just going to be doing a left nostril breath, inhaling and exhaling through the left nostril. I would love for you to do that as a 1-to-2 ratio breath, if that works for you. So your right hand will be kind of doing a thumbs up sign just to block the right nostril. And your left hand can be the either palm up or palm down on your knee or thigh. And if you feel called to do a finger position with the left hand, please feel free to do that. So just whatever feels comfortable on that left side. Right hand thumbs up. Take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Exhale completely through both nostrils. Block your right nostril and begin a 1-to-2 ratio breath. Finish out the breath you're on. Allow the right hand to simply rest down, however it feels comfortable. If your eyes are closed, I'd like you to keep them closed. And just sit for a moment, noticing how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, perhaps even spiritually, knowing that you are safe and cared for, and all is well and will be well. And then slowly bring your palms together in front of your heart. So just taking a moment in gratitude for that. Simply for that you are cared for, you are safe, all is well and all will be well. There is no greater gratitude than that. Just taking a moment, really feeling full appreciation for the blessing that it is to be alive, to be well, to be cared for. And then just take that last deep, huge inhale. Exhale with a happy sigh. We bring our palms together in front of our foreheads, and this just reminds us to be present, to be in the moment. We bring our palms together in front of our mouths, and it reminds us to speak our truth, but with kindness. And we bring our palms together in front of our hearts to remind us to keep our hearts open, because it's from our open hearts that we can feel gratitude and share love. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Namaste.